Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I am the Maize Man. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button. Share this with your friends and family on social media and abound. And of course, subscribe. Today, we're talking an elite group of visitors, and it's only a few of the visitors this week. We're going to talk about who it is. Be sure to tune in. And of course, I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully, but disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans, poor little bro, man. And I'm gonna tell them where I'm at. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, the other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset. Finally, we'll touch on a few of the higher ranked prospects that are visiting or have visited Michigan this week. We'll start with the number one player in the country, Jackson Cantwell, offensive tackle out of ncaa, Missouri. He will be visiting Michigan March 22nd. That'll be right on the heels of him visiting the other state, the 21st, the 20th and the 21st. It seems as if Michigan has made up some ground here on teams like the other state who have had Cantwell on for, I believe, 4 visits already. This will be Michigan's second time having him on campus, just to give some perspective. And Michigan has been doing very well in this recruitment. In fact, head coach Sharon Moore, offensive line coach, Grant Newsom, and the GM Sean McGee recently visited Missouri to see Cantwell and speak with him. And of course, this is going to be an NIL situation. I can tell you that he is represented by Drew Rosenhaus, the world famous Drew Rosenhaus. There was a movie made after this guy. He represented some very high-profile athletes in his time. So this is going to be an NIL situation. Let me just say that. His NIL valuation is already approaching the 7-figure mark, right? I believe right now it's at $730,000, and that's his NIL valuation. Now, that's not necessarily what he's getting or what he's going to get. It's just what they have valued his likeness at right now. Likeness and worth at right now, and that's according to On3. That said, Michigan is playing ball. We know that as Michigan fans. They landed 2 very big edge or offensive tackles in the previous class. This would be right in line with what they've been doing along the offensive line. In addition to those guys, I can't forget about Avery Gatch and Strayhorn, those guys in the last cycle as well. They already have Bear McWhorter, who we just spoke with on this channel the other day, who gave us the insight that he's already working on Jackson Cantwell, has been texting him. So this is going to be an NIL situation. If it comes down to the highest bidder, I do believe that Michigan will not be outbid. Let me say that. We'll see what happens, though. He's got those visits coming up in the spring. Like I said, tomorrow he's today he is in that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. And then Friday he'll be in A2. So we'll see what happens. I feel good about this right now, but we'll see what happens coming off of those visits. Moving on from Cantwell, another offensive lineman that it was thought for a second Michigan was out of the running for, and Malachi Lee out of Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii to be specific, 6'6", 318-pounder. He is rated 125th in the country. the 10th ranked offensive tackle and the third ranked player in the state of Hawaii. It looked like USC had done enough to land him to really close the door there, but the Kamehameha High School prospect is back in A2, which is a great sign for Michigan. I feel like Grant Newsom and Sharon Moore have done an excellent job recruiting this guy, and hopefully they can land him. That would be huge for Michigan. In fact, there's a crystal ball currently for Michigan to land Malachi Lee. So that is obviously a positive. We'll keep you posted as more information becomes available with Malachi Lee. Moving over to receiver, let's talk about a surprise visitor who arrived on campus Monday, Calvin Russell. Calvin Russell is an absolute monster, ladies and gentlemen. Two-sport athlete. In fact, he's a higher rated basketball player than he is a football player. He stands 6'5", 195 pounds. He's out of Miami, Florida, Northwestern High School. He's a 5-star basketball prospect, ladies and gentlemen. 5-star basketball prospect. He is ranked the 18th ranked player in the country according to 247, the number 3 wide receiver in the country, and the second ranked player in the state of Florida in the 2025 class. This would be massive. And chalk this up, by the way, to your quarterback, freshman Bryce Underwood, and his gravitational pull. This wouldn't be possible, I feel like, if Michigan doesn't land a guy like Bryce Underwood. Now, people like Calvin Russell are willing to even come visit Michigan and take a chance there. And I do believe that people like Calvin Russell, right? People like Travis Johnson, they want to see Michigan perform well in the pass game. They want to see Michigan air it out. I'm sure the word has been given to Chip Lindsey. I'm sure, I know Bryce Underwood is eager to show what he's got. Mikey King trying to, show what he's got. Even a guy like Jaden Davis trying to show what he's got. That's 2 5-star quarterbacks on this roster right now in back-to-back classes for the Wolverines, by the way. Massive gets for Michigan. Calvin Russell, Calvin Johnson, by the way. But he's Calvin Johnson-like at 6'5", 195 pounds. This would be massive for the Wolverines. And this is a guy that I really want them to be able to land. We'll see what happens, though. Switching over to the other side of the ball, Michigan is also in for another top 50 recruit. In fact, the 48th ranked player nationally, 5th ranked athlete in the class, and the number 1 player in the state of Pennsylvania, Joey O'Brien out of LaSalle College High School, Glenside, Pennsylvania. He is a 6'3", 185-pounder, dual threat, plays wide receiver and defensive back for LaSalle. Absolute beast in his own right. He's been recruited by Lamar Morgan, Michigan's defensive backs coach, to be a defensive back, obviously. They like him at safety or nickel, he says. He had some interesting things to say. He said they are definitely getting an official. Speaking of Michigan, I really like it a lot. The first time I came up here, I was like, okay, I like it a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to come back, but I decided to come back. And I got a deep look at everything. He went on to say, I really like it. It's a good spot I can see myself fitting in. Coach Morgan said I could play any of those 2 positions. Speaking of safety and nickel, he would show me players that they have now and had in the past, and he'd show me and be like, this is what you can do. I just think it's cool to be able to visualize what they want me to do. So keep an eye out for Joey O'Brien. Right now, he's got a crystal ball to Penn State, obviously coming out of the state of Pennsylvania. This is going to be a tough one for Michigan, but an exciting one nonetheless. Tell me in the comment section what you think of these visitors, man. These are 4 elite visitors. Let's talk about it. Who do you think Michigan lands? If any of these guys, do you think they land all of these guys? Let's talk about it in the comment section. Be sure to see us at the spring game, man. We got gifts for the first 230 odd people that we see, because we have to give these gifts. We got 300 total. We have to give those out to our members. Of course, if all the members don't show up, that's more for you. But if we get more members, that's less for you. So I suggest you become a member of the channel to ensure that you get one of these gifts. Either way, we're going to see everybody there. We're going to be shaking hands, kissing babies, doing the presidential thing. It's going to be a fun time. Everybody's going to enjoy themselves. Be sure to follow me everywhere at Maize Madman. Be sure to follow my co-host, The Maniac, at GoBlue_Maniac_24. And my other co-host, Kinetic, at Kinetic615 everywhere. Until next time, you know the slogan, my friends. Stay angry. I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. We're about to go through it.
All right, now I'm gonna calm down. So I'm gonna calm down, son. I just don't get that all that Mace and that lock and all that. I just don't get it, son, for real.
Just calm
and how the